Hello and welcome to the Complete Agent podcast, where each week we get to talk all things estate agency. My name is James Kendall and I'm joined by my good friend and colleague Ian Storey. We'll shortly be joined by David Warburton as well. So should we start how we mean to go on? How has your week been, Monsieur Storey?
Well, good. Yeah, I mean, so far this week, 3 gold dust listings. I'm sure that Simon Gates is currently counting the amount of times that we
TCA
say
bingo.
that. So, hello, Simon. Welcome to TCA Bingo. Tonight, Matthew. No, so 3 lovely gold dust listings. One I got yesterday that I lost 3 months ago. I said offers over 950. Guess what happened?
Went on at 1.2 with another agent.
For a lower fee.
No way.
Yeah, no, they quoted
It
a
never
lower
happens
fee.
actually near where I am.
Honestly, in this area, we get agents that quote low fees.
What, and overvalue as well?
And they overvalued it, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, I had breaking news. It actually went on at 1,050,000, not 1.2, but still, what a farcical marketing point.
Yeah, lol.
Marketing price. So, obviously, they've had hardly any interest and crap service for 6 weeks. So, they've given notice and they're coming on with us. So that's a good one. That'll be something in the 900s at 2%. And then 2 others, one from Matt earlier in the week at 700, 2%. One I got at 650, 2%. So, nice stuff trickling through. Should all sell. And then also on the sales, yes, 3 or 4, I think, so far this week. All gold dust again, all 500 to a mil. And then there is interest on stuff over a mil. We've got a second viewing on one at 2.3 this week, cash buyer. So fingers crossed. And then we've got another one that's been just sat around for ages. All of a sudden, 2 buyers, 2 offers over marketing price this week. However, they both have got a house to sell, but they're both prepared to put down a 25 grand non-refundable reservation fee to take it off the market.
Nice.
Which is good.
Good commitment, that is.
Which is great. So we just need to decide who, what we're going with and how that's going to work. But no, generally positive. Noticed a dip in vals.
Yeah.
I know on our TCA members group, I think we're all experiencing the same thing. So I started our door knocking program this week. So I've targeted me and Matt to get 3 door knock connects. So, ideally not just door knocking, but actually door knocking and speaking to someone. So I did my 3 this week. Matt's on it today, I think. So we're not just sitting back and waiting for them to come to us, because we all know how many properties are sat on the market not selling, and most of them are overpriced, aren't they? So there's loads of properties there that want to sell and that need our help. And then we've got our latest not on the market letters ready now, isn't it? That's going out to members today. So we've got 7,500 envelopes, handwritten and stamped in the office, ready to go. We've also had a good couple of bits of traction, JK, off our on the market letters as well recently.
Nice.
Yeah. One that we booked in yesterday, which is 1.25 on with another agent. Currently, it's overpriced.
Yeah, sure.
Would you believe? So that resonated well. Going out to that one, I think, in a couple of weeks' time. So really, for me, mid-October, the nights are drawing in. It feels good. We're going to have hit our bonus target to the lower bar. We've hit that already now, middle of October. So hopefully between now and Christmas, we can nudge that up, and then the team will all get a nice Christmas bonus.
Nice.
So, on the whole, good. Usual issues with people, not calling us back for feedback and getting frustrated and all that sort of stuff. But on the whole, JK, good. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was saying to you off air, and I think everyone's feeling the same at the moment. It is the market where you've got to slug it out, and you've really got to dig in deep. And really, really, the estate agents in this market, like the real proper estate agents that get involved with, taking their hot buyers around houses, and those that put deals together, those are the ones that are going to win. We've had, what have we done? We've done 4, I think, this week so far. There've been more mid-range sales, mid to lower range. I mean, a lower sale here is like 350 grand. But I mean, went in a week. So, it's one of those ones where in this market, if you're going to get 7 grand in a week, you'd take it, wouldn't you?
Hey, nothing wrong with listing houses like that if they're the right fit for the brand.
Well, that's it. The
Nothing wrong with
houses
that.
are good. Like they're even though they're smaller, they're still like good looking houses. But then equally,
Tidy.
I've
Yeah.
just listed one at 2.25 that went live on Rightmove last night. That's a brand new barn conversion. I'm going to do your voice that time. Brand new barn, and that's 2.25. That's looking mega. We actually used, I don't know if we're going to go too deep down a rabbit hole on that on this podcast, but put together a twilight shot and everything on using AI.
Yeah.
And it looks smart. What I managed to do was through iterative prompting, get the upstairs of the house fitted out, the downstairs of the house fitted out from the outside, and then twilight shots. And it finished the garage, it finished the driveway. Like, it looks mega. To be fair, you see it online, but we have also obviously put a disclaimer on there to say that the images have been enhanced by AI. It's basically, it's so different to CGIs, really, is it? Because builders have been using CGIs on Rightmove for a long, long time.
Of course.
Ultra upfront about it. Launched that. The sellers there are absolutely ecstatic with what we've produced, because the previous agent didn't even put it on Rightmove for a start, even though they wanted to. But what they wanted to put on Rightmove was an iPhone photo of the front of the house. And it was just, it just beggars belief that still goes on in 2025. So, we've gone photographed it professionally, put an AI CGI together. The night shot really sets. It does look. I must say, I've outdone myself. Really, it does look really, really good online.
Yeah, I bet it does. It does. With the one you sent me looks absolutely outstanding.
And that's the one I sent you with all the gaping cages and stuff out the back and everything. It looks mega.
Do you know what, JK? Talking about AI. No, you started it, so I'll carry on. So it came to our attention this week, Gemini, which I think is the Google.
That's
AI,
right.
is that right? Yeah. So we put a couple of our external shots into it and asked them to turn it into Twilight, and they looked amazing. They really did look amazing, and I know it'll only get better, and it'll get to the stage very quickly where you won't be able to tell, will you?
No,
that it's not actually a nighttime shot. For me, there's two things. One thing that you mentioned earlier in the week, which is that you going out and the client seeing you going out at night is a major value add and really good for your brand. That we've got our Bond Villain House launching next week, teasing out this week. And I think I've been back 4 times there, met the clients. They've got a couple of cool cars. So we were using the cool cars on the video, and I was there at night, took the kids, been back at night. And she cannot believe what we've done so far. She cannot believe how hard we've worked. And that's what they remember, isn't it? And that's what they tell all their friends.
100%.
And then the other thing I really noticed, because we did the Twilight shoot last Saturday night. So Saturday night at 6:30, I was there to with the photographer, and she was there as well. And there's shots, there's angles that we got at night that we didn't get during the day.
Oh, wow.
Just because of how it looked and the sort of what you could see. And I thought, you sort of can't just totally rely on AI, because AI will just interpret what it sees, won't it?
Yeah.
Whereas when you're there at a different angle of the house, like we were looking through a window up at and I just thought, it's interesting that you can use AI for some stuff, but ultimately it's not always going to replace the human eye, isn't it? And what we see and the experience that we give.
I think it's going to enable agents, though. I think that's the thing. There'll be agents like there is now using fake Twilights that will use it, and their fake Twilights will get slightly better. The photos will get slightly better. There'll always be people that get slightly better because of it. People looking for silver bullets and shortcuts. But the agents that truly are empowered by AI and use it to upskill the experience in their business, they're the ones that are going to win. And I said it on the I think the podcast with Matt and Ian the other week. It came out today, I think, actually. But the agency industry is going to go through consolidation. So the low paid, low skilled jobs are all going to be consolidated by AI. But what it will mean is the likes of me, you, Dave Warburton, maybe, will be. I only said that because I know he'll listen to this back because he hasn't been on it. But like, the agents that are in, I suppose the top 1%, they will be the ones that thrive. And also equally, there's plenty of other good agents around the country that, we sort of certainly speak to, and TCA members, etc., that are, relational kind of agents that will build relationships with people and be enabled by AI. Just to cap off the week, so launched that, got our first draft through on our big £3.5 million as well yesterday. So got a few quick tweaks to make on that.
Another 3.5 million.
This is the second one.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Although technically you have one up to me because you're better than me. You sold your 3.5 for over 4. I just sold mine for 3.5.
Oh, sorry, babes.
However, one of the other agents did value my 3.5 at 1.8. So crazy.
Amazing. Crazy.
But it's nice. They're always nice to get. I mean, it's a beautiful house. The client is incredible. Everything's just nice. Like, I'm really hoping that we're gonna get it sold. We're literally throwing a kitchen sink at it. So it won't be through not trying, if that makes sense. It will be the market.
Have you literally thrown the kitchen sink at the house?
I have literally made a dent in the wall. I went to Howden's, bought a kitchen sink. She's like, "What are you doing, James?" I was like, "I told you I was going to throw the kitchen sink at it." Okay, who's going to pay for these windows? Anyway, so we're going to do postcard marketing before when the video's ready. Obviously, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, like literally everything we can do. We're going every single trick there is in the book. Paid advertising, you name it, it's going out there.
As ever, JK, it's about the whole marketing approach, isn't it? So I went to one yesterday that's 1.25 million, lovely farmhouse, 2%. She'd only had us. I showed her around the house 6 years ago, and she's followed us on Facebook ever since. Loves us, gets the nom, gets the nom, gets postcards when we sell stuff near her, and she's only had us out. Massive fan. Oh, I saw what you were doing with that one in the Bond villain house. I call it. And they're fans, aren't they? Because they see what you do and they follow what you do.
And they want to use you as well. And so when you go in there, a val is literally like, how are we gonna put your house on the market and market?
Yeah, what date are we coming for photos?
100%. We had a few of those. Literally, a lady yesterday, bless her, she texted me. I went to her 3 years ago, and her house was done up for Halloween. And it was incredible. Like some of those people that have the decorations and they are just like cutesy, like artisan, like not trashy American style, but like those proper, like vintagey kind of style. It's a beautiful chapel conversion that she's got. And I remember seeing her, and she said, she texted me the other day and she goes, "Oh, just wanted to let you know the decorations are up this year." She sent me a load of pictures of the house, and she goes, "Oh, we won't be moving yet, but we will be moving in the next year or two. As soon as we're ready, we'll let you know."
Right.
And that's the kind of house, when that goes on in a year or two's time, it's gonna fly, because it's one of those where the decor. I mean, it's not the biggest; it's only 800 grand, but it's just exquisite. The kitchen's beautiful. Like everywhere's just presented just so. I'm not going to have to send Sandra out to style that house, because it is literally just beautifully presented. It's in a great village, and it almost feel bad listing it, because it's easy money, really easy money. So seeing as Dave hasn't turned up yet, the topic of the pod was going to be sort of setting expectations in the current market, but also maybe giving people a bit of a pep talk that are listening to this, about resilience, and it's not all bad, not all doom and gloom, because I feel like I've been beaten up a little bit in the last sort of week and a half, 2 weeks, with just people being absolute, and apologies if you've got children in the car, but people just being dickheads. Like so into context, for example, Rich was away a couple of weeks ago, and I covered a viewing for him, and the lady drove out and literally got through the door, 2 minutes in the door, and she was like, "Yeah, no, it's too far away." And then literally yesterday inquires about another house in the same village and goes, "Can I view this?" And I was like, "No." Like, it's literally in the same village that you said was too far away for you to drive to school in the morning.
It's unbelievable. We have just to add another one onto that, because I know everyone experiences issues, and you've just got to be so strong-minded and keep moving forward, haven't you? We had one where she viewed this barn conversion, a couple of weeks ago. Sunday morning, messaged me via the website on WhatsApp to say, "Can I second view it today?" Sunday morning, 8 o'clock, something like that. So I thought, I'm going to book this in, because it's a second viewing. She's proceedable. It's a £1.2 million barn. So I spoke to the sellers. Can they come today? Yes, great. Got our viewing specialist lined up on the same day. Brilliant. Ian, just so you know, we're coming to view this with a view to offering on it. Brilliant, Rachel. Come and look at it. Viewed it. Not heard from her until yesterday. 10 days later, she hasn't replied to any messages or calls.
Wow.
And she's now looking at 2 others.
Wow.
I said, and I said to her last night, you did say when I booked that viewing for you that you were viewing it with a view to offering. Can I ask what's changed? And basically some bullshit excuse about seeing something else she prefers. Or either way, it's just so frustrating. People are so frustrating, but they always have been, and you've just got to deal with it and make sure that you're being completely honest with your clients. But setting the expectations before they launch is key. Before we talk about that, this weird-looking guy's just joined the. What's your name?
My name's David.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and I am from Bolton.
We have now just received word that David Warburton is in the building.
Is my microphone okay? Thank you. I like that.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, guys.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You arrived.
Wow.
Thank you.
What a welcome. Is my microphone okay?
Sorry, yes. Can't hear you, Dave.
So I had a technical glitch this morning in that I got to the office.
Woke up at 9 o'clock. Is that your technical glitch?
I'd been to the office and left my laptop at home. So here I am at my breakfast bar now doing this. So all good. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the Complete Agent Podcast.
We've done that, mate.
Sorry.
We don't need to do that.
Where are we actually up to? You don't want to know how the week's been.
I've literally, we're 16 minutes in. I've just finished talking about my week. So now over to you, Ian.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right. Well, we'll skip.
Tell us about your week, mate.
Oh, yeah, not bad. A bit more of the same, to be honest. It's a little bit quiet out there at the minute. And I think what's the great thing is, we've got some really nice valuations in the diary. Got quite a few houses to launch. Sales have been pretty sparse, but good quality sales. So I was talking about 3 that we had great offers on last week, and we've agreed. We've had some more offers in this week, but quite sparse. It feels light, but it is all good, fellas, I guess.
The market has a sort of recession type feel to it.
It's got a recession type feel to it, JK. But with these buyers, you can, take a horse to water, shove its face in there, but you can't make it drink it. So, this is all you can do. You can just keep showing the properties. What I am finding amusing, lads, is that you can see the people out there that don't do regular lead gen. I don't know whether you're noticing this, but I'm starting to see a lot of videos where people going, just standing on camera going, so this is what happens after evaluation. We'll come back, we'll do a follow-up, we'll speak to the team, we'll rally round and we'll get everybody. Lots of how-to videos out there. You can always tell when people are quiet. And it's really important to have lead gen strategy all year round, as we always talk about. But and I think I got the tail end of what you were talking about there in terms of time wasting viewers and stuff like that. We're definitely suffering that. I think I mentioned to you lads as well. I did I gave up my Sunday really last week for a third viewing at a property we've got at 1.5. They'd already offered 1.2, and this was just to really seal the deal. They ghosted me on Monday. I spoke to them on Tuesday, and they've had second thoughts about everything and are now not buying it. There's loads of that going on at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think probably what you were saying, JK, there about just telling people to go and check the areas out and things like that before they actually see it. I think that's probably what you're alluding to. There's been a bit of that going on recently as well.
A lot of buyers are fickle, though, aren't they? I mean, and we're even seeing it from some of our clients as well. Like some of our clients are going, "Oh, we'll just pull out of that and buy something else."
Yeah.
So we've had 2 this week where we're about to exchange, and they're up at their upward link. They've gone, "Yeah, I'm not going to buy that. I'm going to buy something else." Found something else with no chain.
Do you know? We've had another one. I mentioned it to you lads on the group. There's two different circumstances here, and it's just typical of the market. But there's one where we had an offer on a property at 750. 850. That's on at 9. No, that's wrong. That is completely wrong. It's on at 600, and we had a 550 offer, which was rejected. He'd gone to 575. And he said, he was basically thinking about going up. And Kate had followed up the feedback this week, just said, right, have you made a decision? And he said, which property is this one? And, he said, I've offered on about 4 or 5, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about. And you just think, oh, Jesus, do you really want to get into conveyancing with this guy anyway? And then on the flip side of that, this one makes me a little bit nervous, but she does speak well and gives me confidence in the way she speaks. But we're also the recipient of somebody who's been very fickle on another property. So she is literally due to exchange on her own. and potentially complete on another home. We're talking days away. And she's flipping onto something that we've just recently listed. It's great for us because we're selling it in a few days and we're selling it very close to marketing price. But you do start thinking, well, is the potential that she could do that to us further down the line? I mean, in fairness to her, she has got a situation where there's an issue with the deed, but the solicitor's suggesting that's been resolved, but she's lost a bit of confidence in the house and all that sort of stuff. But you just don't know. And I think that those are the conversations that we're having now with multiple vendors. Anybody thinking of coming to the market, anybody asks you what the market's like, it's so fickle. It's so tough.
What is interesting actually on that, mate, is that we've just listed a house. Actually, it hasn't gone live yet. We've got the for sale board up, but that's going live I think next week. There's a house on the market on one street at the moment, and the classic, you're too expensive. I think it actually happened to you recently, and didn't it, where somebody overvalued and undercut you on fee?
I've had that this year.
Here. It's a bit of a rare thing here, but anyway, we went to the house next door, and they've been recommended, again, classic, like you just said earlier. Been follow us on Facebook for ages, like buy into everything that we do, and we've said to them, look, realistically, you need to go on offers over 6 rather than 650. You're the T1000. For those of you that can't see this, it's all audio only. Ian's put his Oakley shades on, so he looks like the Terminator.
Those were actually Freddie's Oakleys, weren't they? They're tiny.
Yeah, they are Freddie's. They're not Oakleys. God, they're from Home Bargain. I won't buy my kids Oakleys.
Timu. But anyway, bottom line is we put this house on at offers over 6, and they bought into it. Next door's on at 650, exact same house, but it looks literally like a bag of chips. There's literally the builder's floor plan, but it's not standard construction, so you can see where they've used their iPhone and scrubbed out a wall. They're using their iPhone and uploaded that. The photos are horrendous. I mean, but we were too expensive, in fairness. So we put this one at offers over 6. But we, like I said earlier, Dave, you weren't on when we were talking about it. I said the agents that are going to win are the agents that do estate agency, and ringing through the database. So we rang through the database and said, we've got this coming on. Have you viewed next door or this, that, and the other? 2 people had viewed next door and inquired from Rightmove, and we've already got 2 viewings booked on it before we've even put it online. And there are 2 people that have viewed the house next door. So how funny would that be? Like going from for sale to sold without even taking a photo on that street. The seller's perception next door of just seeing that board flip to sold without even seeing a photo online. It's funny, we've been to 3 actually there, like all in a row, and the one hasn't come on. It's not gone on the market yet. The one in the middle has gone on with the cheap agent, and we're launching the other one. And it's just there's no. I'm just seeing it across the board. There doesn't seem to be a lot of salesmanship going on. And to be fair, we've probably been a little bit guilty of that probably 3-4 months ago ourselves before we'd really kind of gone onto it. So, Ian, what were you going to say, mate?
Yeah, I was going to say about salesmanship and about tying deals up. We've had one that we agreed earlier this week. We put it on it was on another agent before us. It was overpriced again, JK, before it came to us. And then we got it on at offers over 600. We got recommended by the developer that this couple are buying through. They said, use Stories, put it on offers of 600. We sold it for 610, 605, 610, something like that. Fell through. Forgotten why it fell through now. Went back on. And you know how many times over the years you put a property on and it sells straight away, and you think, oh, when I relaunch this, it'll sell straight away. It didn't. And it's been a real struggle. It's got quite a lot of road noise. Anyway, we had 2 offers on it last weekend of 590, basically. One of them's in a chain, one of them's chain free. And the one that's chain free, it turns out this week part of the money's in crypto.
Nice.
So
what could possibly go wrong?
He wouldn't convert it into sterling, so we can't do AML on it.
He wouldn't convert it into sterling.
It wouldn't convert it into sterling. Then the other people who are in a chain are selling through an agent, and she was really, really good, this agent. I spoke to her last Saturday. To be fair to her, she's an EXP agent out of area. She was really good, really on the ball. No, they won't pay more than 590. Definitely won't pay more than 590. They can't afford to pay more than 590. That we've pushed their buyer. That's their max. And I've just sold it for 595. I got another $5,000 out of him. And the seller's over the moon. But my point was about salesmanship and about hustling and pushing and So many agents don't do that. How many agents would have said to their client, "It's 590, John," and they probably accepted it. But we got another $5,000, and we might have got another $10,000, and that hustle is really what they're paying you for.
What's funny
really
though on that though, mate, is that you can't, you can say that to somebody in their lounge.
This is the point.
And it's hard to articulate it, isn't it?
This is the point.
The reality is, and we've had exactly the same thing. We've got one at 625. We had an offer of 620, and the seller goes, "Yep." I said, "Well, what are you doing? We've got another 3 viewings on Friday with people arguably in better positions. Let's just get them round for the sake of 48 hours." The guy that's offered 620 has only got a 5% deposit. Let's see what happens, and especially in this market, 5% deposit. A surveyor is going to scrutinise that to high hell. Anyway, Friday rolls around. 2 out of those 3 are interested. So now we've got 3 offers on the table, and we I think 633 we've sold it for now. They would have taken, that's 13 grand they would have walked away from, and the people that are buying it are cash.
Wow.
So 620, 5%, and that's the kind of thing that would happen in a corporate environment. Let's just get a sale on the board. Let's get it sold. Get it bish bash bosh. Get it off. Get it done. Whereas for the sake of another few days. But the thing is, the point I was just about to make was that whilst you can tell the people those stories in the living room, it's not your job necessarily to do that. Yes, you can do it, but where this will stand you in good stead is with the seller and the people they know. When they tell their friends and they go,
"That's right.
Well, we had 620, we would have taken it, but James said, hold on for a couple of days. They got me another 13 grand from a better buyer."
Yeah, we had another one last week, and it's the same example. I won't take too long talking about it, but the guy would have taken 750 for his house, and we've sold it at 765 by pushing it, by giving it 24 hours, by keeping silent, by using all the negotiation skills that you should use and not just rushing into it. And he's absolutely over the moon, this seller now. And the power of that is worth way more than the fee you're going to get. The people he'll tell is worth way more.
We've got a guy at the moment actually similar. We've got 2 offers. This house really, it's performed so well. It's performed like a 300 grand house, and it's on at 1 million offers over. We've had somebody come in who's really strong at 1 million. Made it really clear that their top end value is 1 million. And the owner was actually talking about that's, I'm so happy we've got that very, very quickly. You can't move till March, and these people will meet the timescales. But I have got another party that's viewed it, and they've been really serious, really like it. They were at 1,010,000, and they've got a bit of a chain with them, but they will definitely go up. And when I was speaking to the owner, again, he would have I think snapped the £1 million hand off. He still might. We've still got a little bit to go. But having spoken to the other party last night, there's definitely at least another 50 grand there. And when I went back to him, he was sort of saying, bloody hell, 50 grand. I was expecting 5, 10 maybe, which might not have been enough to change, but 50 grand will pay my tax bill, is what he said to me last night. So, you are talking about really important life-changing stuff for strong negotiation. And we've spoken for the last few weeks and a mastermind and stuff about becoming a buyer's market and working with buyers, and that's just becoming so much more important now. You do need your list of hot buyers. It's almost like the old days, isn't it? I think I remember before Rightmove and stuff, hot boxes and things like that. People need to get back into that mindset and really start working on the quality of their registrations, going through the buyer databases, finding out who's out there, because not only. Yeah, who's going to buy a house next week? You need to find these people. But equally, JK, in a market where maybe valuations are a bit lighter, a lot of these people will have houses to sell in the background. So they might be on the market with another agent stuck and doing nothing. There's loads of people out there who will consider market ready if you pitch it in the right way. These are the people that you need to start going to, because it's not going to be quiet forever. I think if you're in a position now where you may be thinking that this is it, the market's just dead and nothing's going to happen, and it's very, very quiet, and you switch off for the year, then I think you're going to come unstuck at the start of next year. Equally, for those that have not had consistent lead gen and stuff in place, this should be a lesson to continuously churn all year round. But there's no better time to start that, is there, than today? So don't let this happen again, because these peaks and troughs come. I honestly don't think the market's going to get any better before the end of the year. because even after the budget, which we know is probably having a bit of an effect on certain areas of the market, we're then into December. And unless the announcement is that all these things are going to come into place by April and it's going to massively impact the market, we might see a busier Christmas. But the reality is people will switch off for Christmas and then you're into January. So we're potentially now talking about a quiet October, November and December, 3 months. And if you're not doing things now, important things, planting those seeds, the risk is that you go into January when it might pick up again, and you're on the back foot and your competitors aren't.
You need to hustle hard and double down everything, where people are going to start cutting the marketing budgets now, where they're getting a bit quieter. Yeah. And that's really time where there's a land grab available, where people are sort of reining things in. When the times are good, people spend money really frivolously. But when the chips are down and the market's a lot harder, that's when people cut back, and that is when there is a real opportunity to sort of land grab and grab some more. So we've got our 10,000 envelopes ready. We're just about to start printing our update. The letters obviously finalised today, so we're going to get printing those and get those out. Our on-market strategy, we've actually just started. Anything that comes on the market, building a spreadsheet for it, and anything that comes on, we're just sending on market letters to. So previously we'd waited 4 to 6 weeks for them to come on, but what we've been doing now is we've had a strategy now where as soon as they come on the market, we're writing to them.
Do you know what? Them... Brilliant point that. I mean, should we unpack that a little bit? Because I think obviously Spectre do and other platforms will do the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, whatever it is, letters every few weeks. And I think that was always quite popular because you would pick them up further down the line. I think probably a lot of people stopped doing it on the back of a busy market. Things were going on, they might sell 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. This is the market really to target new instructions, because not everything's selling, as we can see. What are you actually doing there, JK, week 1?
I mean, to be fair to it was Chloe really that started doing it from day one. We've been doing sort of 4 to 6. We've got a list of everyone that's been on the market 4 to 6 weeks, and we've been sending consistently. But we've sent so many out. We've sent thousands out that we're now at a point where that every letter we just send to everyone that comes straight on the market. So as soon as anything comes on, last 24 hours, we write all the addresses down, and then we get it out. And I think the idea is that that nurture sequence, because obviously the letter's handwritten, it's hand stamped. It's 4, 5, 6 pages at times. It's educating people on the market, so they might be getting a not on the market update from us every quarter, but they'll also be getting one from us every 6 to 8 weeks, in line with the HPI, just articulating what's going on. And we all know that a lot of agents will tie people in for 12, 18, 20, 26 weeks and not actually speak to their clients. I had somebody speak to me, I can't remember who it was, somebody messaged me the other day with a recommendation that across the country, and they were saying that they hadn't heard from their agent since June, and that's crazy. And if you think that in the meantime, if you're sending these updates every 6 weeks, so 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks, and they're getting, what's happening in the market, where things are going, where things are moving. They're not registered with you. They haven't got any sort of affinity with you. If they've had 3 or 4 updates, by the time their contract's up, there's a good chance that they could reach out to you.
Absolutely, I think so. It's really, like I say, it's really important to just have the lead gen turned on all year. You can't stop. I mean, like I said, I think people know to death now what we do in terms of our quarterly updates and our 6 weekly updates to not on the market stock and on market stock. But, just a little tweak there, JK, I think is spot on, especially now, because if you consider what month we're in October, if anything's going on the market now, the chances of that selling in this market, even if it's slightly overpriced, is slim. And the owners will feel that deflation and will want that fresh approach from the right agent in the new year, without doubt. And New Year probably feels miles off. It isn't. We're talking
6 weeks.
What is it? What is it?
No, it's not more than that, isn't it?
8 to 10 weeks, something like that.
10 weeks, yeah. That's
which
crazy,
is,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's mental. It's just gone so quick, but it'll be here before you know it. And if you have been putting the graft in now in a quieter market, even if you're struggling, if cash flow's tight, and you are worried right now, it does turn. It always turns, but you've got to put the work in now. And if you do that, I think that you stand a really good chance of hitting the ground running when the market does pick up. And it usually does pick up in January. Because let's have it right as well, JK. I mean, October is usually okay. And then November and December traditionally are quite quiet anyway. So it's no surprise that it's quiet. It's just quieter. There's fickle buyers out there. There's fall throughs happening all over the place. And I wrote in the letter this time, it's happening all over the country. It's not just isolated to one area. You speak to agents up and down the country, they're all saying the same things. And you just need to be able to educate your clients about that. There's no point buttering it up. It was actually refreshing. I did a seller review just yesterday, and I was on the phone to him for about 35 minutes. You'd think having a seller review for that long, it might have been a bit of a battle, and one where there's a lot of concern from them. It was far from it. It was more, we were just agreeing on everything. And he was sort of saying, I can see it, Dave. I can see it. My house has had 1,000 hits in the last 3 weeks, and I'm not getting enough viewings. I can see it. I'm not stupid. I know it's the market. The house looks great. He's saying all these things to me. House looks great. I can see.
It's interesting, actually. November last year, I was just looking at Street, going back through the data, and we actually had quite a good November last year randomly. But I mean, the thing is, the budget has changed, hasn't it? And October was pretty good actually as well. It's interesting. I mean, there's a few fall throughs actually in October, but I think the budget isn't it like the latest the budget has ever been, like in recent times?
So yeah, I think so. I don't think it can be any later.
Scandals, isn't there? Like they've had all these scandals with all these ministers that have been sacked, and I think it is the latest it could possibly be.
Yeah, I don't think they can do it any later. They're not allowed to do something like that. I don't know, might be wrong, but it's definitely having an impact, isn't it? Everybody 100%. I speak to be honest, acknowledges it and understands that that's what's happening. But again, it's just having that regular conversation with them. I've got a couple of seller reviews booked in tomorrow. The theme will be the same. So we'll have to wait and see what's to come. But certainly, yeah, the lead gen, setting expectations, it's important.
So let's give the listeners some real value then. So let's pack it into the last 5 minutes. What are 3 things that agents should be doing now to have an impact in the next 90 days? I think we covered off one quite nicely in terms of on market, not on market letters, lead gen. I think we covered that off quite nicely. What's another 2 things you think agents could double down on?
Well, without question, obviously we have spoken about it, but I think long term you need, for me, because it's really successful for us and our members, you need a long term direct mail strategy. I really believe that you need that. But if we're talking about how you can potentially impact your next quarter and go into January with valuations in your diary and have influenced your potential market, I think there's 2 things that you should be doing right now. One is there is a lot of low-hanging fruit out there. Mm-hmm. So we've spoken about on-market letters, which should be getting done, but you should be going speaking to these people that are on the market, old-fashioned techniques. Gatesy posted a video a few weeks ago, and it was Matt Steinweed, and I actually commented on Gatesy's post about it because he'd had him on the podcast before, but you probably saw it. But Matt Steinweed, in all the years that he's done his job, and he's super successful in Australia. And if you don't know who he is, check him out. He's an Australian agent. He's really, really, really popular out there. One of the top agents in the country. And to this day, every time he speaks to a client, either he or a member of his team will write a handwritten card and send it to that client just to say, it was great to talk to you just then. Just recap briefly on whatever they've spoken about. And he sends it to them. And he says, to this day, it's one of his biggest converters, if not his biggest converters, and it's a pen and paper. That's how he puts it. He's never stopped doing it. Yeah, he's never stopped doing it in 20, 25 years. It's just a nice postcard. Great talking to you just then. Blah, 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 blah. Send it out. And he said the impact that has on his business is huge. And And I think little things like that get overlooked, JK. You know, in a world where AI is becoming more prominent, there's lots of talk about social media and different hacks of getting lead generation. The old-fashioned techniques work. So you should be mining your database right now. There's so much gold in your database. You should be working with buyers. So to me, the low-hanging fruit, the old-fashioned techniques, knocking on doors and speaking to people who have got houses for sale, actually sending letters, and even the old-fashioned postcards and things like that, getting your brand out there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I do think that you should be working your database. I think you should be looking at finding your hot buyers. Who are your buyers? Because you'll have a database full of them. And because we've had so many good years where you can put a house on Rightmove or social media and it gets a reaction and somebody will book a viewing, and that's not happening as much as it was, we neglect these people. So you need to speak to them, find out who's thinking about moving in the next few weeks or months, find out what they've got in the background. Is there a chain involved? Have they got a house to sell? Have they got the finances in place? And treat that buyer like you would do a seller. You know, I've done loads of off-market viewings recently. I've got one. I've got another one. I've got two next week. One is on a £3 million house that's going to be an amazing property for us if we can convert that as well after the viewing. I did one on Bank Holiday Monday a couple of weeks ago on another £3 million house. There's loads of buyers out there that are crying out to be looked after. And find a property for them. Find them a property. Because either A, the buyer will pay you for the privilege, or B, the seller will pay you for the privilege. And if it doesn't go anywhere, guess what? You'll probably get the instruction anyway. And you should be thinking about doing market ready on the back of it. So for me, it's a buyer's market. Why are we not working with more buyers? That should be your focus now. Low-hanging fruit, knocking on doors, and working with buyers, mining the database. And of course, JK, we're all big on social media. I think there's never been a better time using the organic reach that the various different channels give you to promote your brand and get your face out there as you put it, the trusted advisor, and tell
Great
people.
phrase, that is.
What's that?
Great phrase.
It is a great phrase. It is a great phrase. And telling people what's happening in the market. Tell your local market what's happening. Other things as well, JK, when you're quieter, and these are the sorts of things that should be done all year round, and I'm guilty of not having done this one, but Ian speaks of it very highly. Community work. You know, can you have a day in your diary where you just nip into local businesses and speak to them, interview them, film them, get them out there? You know, there's no excuse really. In busy markets, yes, things can tail off a little bit. But the king of it, he's left us now because he's had to go to evaluation. Ian, he's done it for years and years and years, and we can see what impact it's had on his business. And getting involved in your local community is another thing that you could be doing. But I think you just have to prioritize these things. I think low hanging fruit, definitely. There's lots and lots of houses on the market right now. They'll all be getting chased by the same letters and being told the same things. The boring letters. Be different. Go and speak to them on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And see what you can get out of them. And then, like I say, buyers for me, those would be the two big ones.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, with the other, just on buyers as well, buyer letters, they can be a great source of valuations. You know, if you're really working with buyers, and to get buy-in from buyers, you know, ask them about their situation, get granular on what they're looking for, put that into your buyer letter, and then approach the kind of houses that you want to sell, and, you know, fit the person with that. I mean, that's literally the job. Put the right person in the right house. And sometimes you know, if you haven't got something, you have to go and find it. You know, what's that? The James Clear saying, the best employees are never looking, the best homes are never for sale. What it means is you have to go out and get it yourself. And that is so true. And the amount of deals that we've put together that would have never happened if, for example, off market. There's two off markets I can think of in the last 3 months that we've done and completed on or sold, where we've just, again, had a client that we'd already been out to. They said, look, if the right buyer came along, we'd sell. Got the right person. You know, I've been to value a house. They're looking to upsize. They want to be in this area. Would you consider this sort of house? Yeah, this house has got a pool. It's got this. It's got that. Yeah, oh, great. Sounds really good. Get them round off market. And then, you know, I came out with a really good phrase. I was like, you know, if you want to buy it, it's got to be a show-stopping offer for my clients to take it. I have, mate. To be fair, you are a scholar when it comes to things like that. You are Mr. Phrase.
Well, I think you are. You're Mr. Analogy, you aren't you? That's fair.
Yeah, I mean the analogies aren't great, are they? Let's be honest. But at the end of the day, there's a few things that, if you're playing TCA Bingo today, you will have heard already. We've had Gold Dust, we've had Barn Conversion, we've had all sorts. But I think it's probably a good place to leave it for this week. We've got a special guest next week, haven't we?
Have we got? Is it? Who we got? Oh yeah, we have. Yeah, good one. Can I just finish on that little last thing, the off-market stuff, because I am quite passionate about it at the moment, particularly. So there's one that's happened for me very recently, and it was a letter received. So they've received a letter, and they've received plenty of them. And I think I told the story last week where I went to the actual valuation, and he had a wallet, and he had them all in there from the last couple of years. And he's a very, very successful, wealthy guy. He's sold a business, and his house is worth in the region of 3 million. I wasn't the only agent in, but he invited me on the back of my letter. So we had a conversation at his breakfast bar, him and his wife. We had a great chat, went through what we do, and he was quite clear that he's not interested right now in going on the open market. He's quite a private guy. He's quite high profile in his field, and doesn't really want that exposure at the moment. Obviously, we talked about how that's kind of putting the handcuffs on a little bit. If I've not got all the material and things like that, it's more difficult for me to generate interest from serious buyers. And where I live, 3 million quid, that is right at the top end of anyone's budget. So there's very few buyers out there at that kind of level in the area and the surrounding areas. So I'd explained this clearly to him, obviously spoke about the market, being who he is, he's got a pretty good handle on the market and he understands. But he did say to me, look, what I'm looking for right now is for someone to just check the database, see who they've got, chat to your network. So I said, no problem, that's fine. Went away. I got him a viewing within 24 hours. I had a person that I knew of that I thought was looking in this particular budget. They've already been pre-qualified. I've had proof of funds. So I rang him. I said, I've got a viewer I think that I would want to show your house to within 24 hours. He said, no worries, send me your terms. I sent him my terms, and he said, ooh, right, your fee's a little bit high. I said, right, do you want me to bring this buyer or not? And he laughed and he said, it's just that I've had such a body. He named the two people. He actually named them by their actual name, not the companies. And they'll both do it for 0.5%. And I said, well, I'm sorry, that's just not me. I would wish you all the best in that respect, but blah, blah, blah. I want to match buyers and sellers. Anyway, long story short, he went for it. He signed the contract, and I took this view around, and they gave me the feedback 2 days ago and loved the house, but it's not quite for them. They would want to do a bit of work to it, and it would take them in excess of what they would want to pay. He said, fully respected that, but he said, really great that you've got them round. Who else have you got? I said, well, I'm speaking to one or two other people, but I think what I need is a mini marketing pack. I need to get some photographs, and I need to do this, that, and the other. And he said, okay, well, let me have a chat with my wife. He's done it. He's had a chat with his wife. So Sabrina's going today. Sabrina does all the home styling. She's going having a look at it today with a view to getting a few photographs. But having a conversation with him yesterday, that's now turned into, shall we just do the shoot? Because at the end of the day, if we do the shoot, we're not coming back, are we? And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, I can see where you're going with it. Yeah, okay, no worries. And we'll do this really lovely brochure. And I've then got some marketing material to show to people. And he said, yeah, okay, I can see why that would work. And I'm thinking, I know it'll work. It'll be great because I'll get the whole shoot done. And when he then sees the video and the photos and stuff like that, he'll probably go, do you know what? Should we just get on the open market? And that's where we're going with it. But that's, JK, that's come from a letter. That's come from buyer database work. And the listing's 3 million. And it's a huge fee for the company.
Is that salesmanship that's gone on there?
I think it is.
That is innovative. If you could just go run through that again, how does that work? No, mate, that's brilliant. To be fair, jokes aside, there are plenty that won't. There's plenty of people that are order takers out there, and you've got to be an order maker. You've literally got to go out there and you've got to make it. So that seems like a good place to call this week's podcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And if you haven't already agreed to sign up and come to the December Mastermind for the annual planning, then make sure you do reach out to one of us.
Please do. Yeah, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure, please
just have a chat.
Yeah, just have a chat with us. Honestly, it's great. And forget us. It's just a great room of people that are doing this and have been doing it for 12, 24 months now and are reaping the rewards. So if you're looking to go into 2026 and have a really bumper year, your first year, even if it's just to put the stepping stones in place, because often that's what the first 12 months are. But I promise you, there's a great opportunity to do it. And particularly, do you know what? It's brilliant when the market's really busy. I mean, we all want the COVID market back, don't we? We don't want COVID back.
Do we?
We don't want COVID back. But the COVID market, in the sense that, you know, everything was selling and blah, blah. Maybe not, JK. I know we could argue that one to death. Maybe that's for another pod. But my point is, you know, we all want to be extremely busy and selling lots and lots of houses.
Yeah, of course we do, yeah. Well, we're here to make money, aren't we, at the end of the day?
Yeah, but the reality is that isn't real. It's not real. It was all artificial. And what I can advocate is that in the quieter times, like we're in now, when you've got low volume and maybe higher overheads and your average fee's not great, it can be quite stressful. Whereas if you're in a position where you do have that high value side of your business and maybe the volume is lower, but the fees are much higher, and trust me, you can be averaging anything between £10,000 and £20,000, which our members do, then it's a much safer place to be, much more enjoyable place to be. And I promise you, it is possible. I said last week on the pod at the end, it's not for everybody. It's not, because we have spoken to some people where they perhaps don't feel that they've got the resources to do it, or maybe finances, because again, it's not just a case of signing up and it'll all just happen. You've got to put the work in, and there's a level of investment that you'll probably need outside of what we do. But I promise you, if you plant the seeds and you've got something about you, you will reap the rewards. And there are many members doing that now. And it's really, really nice to see. And the other thing as well is you can share your wins, share your challenges with other people that have been through all of this. And it's a safe place to sort of chat about anything that you need to regarding your business. So I would really, really advocate that December one, because it's all about planning.
Yeah, perfect. Right. Well, thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you next week.
Cheers, guys.